the Philadephia Pride Parade was just stopped by the pro-Palestine protesters. Which was always bound to happen, but honestly still looks very confusing. It's just another example of how the left always eventually eats itself, as their movement always consists of temporary allies against whatever social media says is out to get them, as they're always angry at whoever doesn't pass their social purity test. Yes, you have all the right flags in your window, but we just found out you do business with someone that doesn't. And although it was really easy for them to all rally behind a ceasefire until the month of June when some of those activists aren't exactly aligned with Pride. And it doesn't matter that they're both far-left movements because the far left has consistently told them, whenever you don't like something, you're entitled to simply stop it by utilizing the powers of unemployed behaviors. It happened when the climate activists protested pride parades last year. And then the climate activists protested the streets later. The migrants had no problem simply plowing right through them. And again, unlimited immigration, banning fossil fuels, the LGBT agenda, and now being pro-Palestine, these are all hyper-liberal ideals. But the more extreme you allow the movement to get, the more they start to pick apart their allies and turn them into newfound enemies. But honestly, I don't think they have anything to worry about, as other than being an inconvenience, none of these movements seem that effective at actually accomplishing anything, as they previously believed dancing was going to stop America from funding the global war machine. And even though they underwent fight training to help protect their movement, they literally had no response for the counter-protesters bursting through their fortress of failed fathers. And when the protesters complained that the police weren't doing enough to protect them, they also complained when the cops came in to remove them. And when the police stopped their little robot from delivering them food, they were very upset again.
Actively blocking food and water from coming in. This is not normal. It's unacceptable.
It's also not
Bring
legal.
food in now.
You cannot deny people food and water in an effort to get them to do something against their will, because they say, oh, they're free to leave if they're hungry. You cannot use a mechanism of torture to make people do something against their will.
So for a movement that seems intent on stopping one of the most best-equipped military forces in the world, they seem awfully delicate when it comes to actual conflict, as simply being annoying never stopped an actual war. And now that they have their sights on stopping a pride parade, it almost makes them align with what the media classifies as far-right. But when you actually look at the staunchly religious people that they're protesting on behalf of, it actually makes a lot of sense that they would specifically want to stop the pride parade. And although my values in recent times have begun to shift right, I honestly don't have a problem with the pride parades. I have a problem with the people that would hijack it to gain immunity for behavior that was previously illegal. Like the old dude that wanted to twerk in his underwear in front of kids. As if he did this in the grocery store, I'm certain he'd be arrested. And it's starting to happen with every movement, as I too think there are serious issues with our justice system and law enforcement. But then looters hopped into the movement and took advantage of the media calling you a bigot for criticizing their various forms of protest. And it's not just left-wing movements that get hijacked, as these allegedly far-right demonstrators are constantly being seen in the streets marching for America. So I'll never blame an entire group for the actions of a few bad actors, as that's the game they play when they artificially place a clearly evil aspect into your movement. Now, the critics of your cause are always going to view your group negatively, so it's up to the people inside your movement to call out the nonsense. As every conservative I know calls out that fake patriot group, but almost no liberals I know call out the predators that infiltrate Pride to specifically go after kids, the rioters that infiltrate peaceful protests to burn and loot local businesses, and the anti-war activists that use babies to block streets because they're mad at Biden. And until the left starts actively calling out the bad actors within their group, they're always going to be prone to implosion. Because when they tell their useful idiots, you're entitled to halt, steal, or destroy anything you don't like, it's only a matter of time before they start destroying each other. But if you appreciate my concise, light-hearted commentary on the tragic status that is today's reality, hopefully I've earned your subscription, then go check out the video on how Dutch cops don't tolerate this type of unemployed behavior.